This is actually a little highlight of an article that appears in Henry Marco's site. Henry Marco delves into the alternative media. He's has a number of articles. I kind of look at different things. I haven't actually looked at his site in a while, and I found it interesting that there's a ongoing feud, I guess, or criticism between him and Jeff Rense, who is also in the alternative media. But it does highlight a point that I have always seen, that the alternative media is basically a business unto itself. There's a lot of end of the worlders, the sky's falling and stuff. Now, Jeff Rense, actually, I don't mind his delivery at all because he talks very calmly. I kind of stated before, I kind of get annoyed with Alex Jones because he gets people too riled up. He can't just give you, the facts as he sees them or whatever. It's almost like the Illuminati and the big mean owl of the Illuminati is after us. Come on. But Jeff Rense talks calmly, so I'm not going to be critical of him. But I'm making a point that basically the alternative media, conspiracy misbit, and end of the world or business is just that, a business, and they don't really believe the message that everything's going to fall apart, as they are basically pushing this campaign on people left and right of fear. I mean, there's some truth to it, but God, they obviously, a lot of them don't believe it themselves. This is a picture of Jeff Rense, age 66, according to this, riding a $30,000 Harley trike, one of his collection of motorcycles, a lifestyle partly supported by donations from his readers. Now, I want to get into this part about donations because actually this comes into a little bit with religion too. I could see maybe supporting, I don't know, people can do what the hell they want, but I personally would never go just support something through PayPal. That's kind of crazy. Either you buy something that somebody makes for you, or they perform a service or whatever they do. Just giving money to me is not very smart, but a lot of people do that. It goes on to say, despite making about Jeff Rense, despite making an excess of $450,000 from his website, radio show, and businesses twice a year, he asks his readers for donations. Now, I want to point out that $450,000 actually is a very small amount of money. It's some of the major media executives would make many, many, many more times than that. And Jeff Rense does work hard for his money. And actually, I don't mind this guy because he talks nice and calm. He doesn't freak everybody out. My criticism about Alex Jones is he freaks everybody out. God, is he a rabble-rouser. But maybe that's his style, but I don't particularly like that. I don't like that. But it is kind of interesting that, according to this article, it says these donation drives actually will bring in an estimated $20,000 a year annually. Pretty good, huh? He goes, how is Jeff Rense any different from any Christian evangelist who scams his flock? And there's a lot of this stuff out there, too. Not that I'm against religion. Like somebody say wants to be a practicing Christian, it's not that difficult to get the information and understand it, because the King James Version, one of the simplest versions out there that doesn't have, nobody messed around with. It's kind of right back from day one, simplicity in itself. You can just download it into PDF for nothing. You don't really need to donate to somebody's campaign and all this type of stuff. But it goes on. This is highly critical of Jeff Rense, but it says that he built $100,000 to build a model railroad that transverses his whole property, and he spent $30,000 on a tanning bed. But actually, I don't want to be too critical of Jeff Rense at all, because actually I think a lot of the other alternative media and a lot of the religious type people are rolling in cash as far as the world is ending. Big conspiracy, donate to me, and they don't believe the message that they're saying themselves. In some ways, the major media is correct. In some ways. Not that you should just stick your head in a hole and just listen only to the major media, but kind of realize that everybody's out in business for themselves. Um, Here's another one. I found this guy quite humorous sometimes. Ben Fulford. Now, he's not actually asking for donations. He's asking for a subscription. But, one thing I always wondered about this guy, he says he's part of this White Dragon Society. He'll state it right here on the website. That, he's a spokesman for this White Dragon Society. And, I heard him state before that he turned down a bribe for like over $1 trillion. And, I remarked that, I would have took the money. If the elite wanted to shut me up for like $1 million, I'd be no problem. Hey, give me the million, no problem. I'm not gonna, he's stating that he turned down over $1 trillion, and that the White Dragon Society's turned down $1 trillion from the Illuminati, to shut up their message and stop persisting in what they're doing. Yet he's asking for this $8 subscription, and I'm thinking to myself, this is really ludicrous on the surface, because if you're out there to attack the Illuminati, you should be exposing them for nothing. For nothing. Just put the information out there. You got some secret information. Just put it out there. And, the way to really get the cockroaches is to expose them to the light. This is, I don't know, I find this very humorous. I can't even not laugh about it. But, obviously, I don't know, maybe he's got some good information. I don't know. People could do it. It's a free market. Do what you want. He's not doing anything wrong. So, but I just find it humorous, the spokesman for the White Dragon Society that's got the Illuminati on the run is actually asking for $8 subscriptions. But anyway, another guy I should mention too is this guy, Brother Nathaniel, with his Donate PayPal. He's spreading the news about the evils of Zionist and Jewish businessmen doing things and all this type of stuff, and donate to me from PayPal. And I don't know. To me, it's either you're going to say PayPal for something, or here's something I'm going to give you for PayPal, or just don't ask me for PayPal. I don't like that, tell you the truth. But he's with religion, so it's usually how that works in that field. I kind of got a little cynical on a lot of stuff, because I've realized that, the non-profit realm of, many of these pastors and stuff, they got a pretty good racket. And they always play poor, no matter, even if they are or aren't, but they always play poor. Sometimes, some things are pretty obvious. I seen a guy pull up that was representing some Christian churches, and he pulled up in a $140,000 Mercedes. I was thinking, God, talk about blatant, I don't know how that was on the books, but probably as some necessary transportation. Who the hell knows? Alex Jones, the king of the alternative conspiracy voice. He's got, donate to InfoWars. This is another thing, just a plain donation, because Google, you'll hear him say Google is censoring us again. Do a Google bomb, or there'll be a money bomb. Get us a money bomb. Donate money. I always like that skit George Carlin said about religion. About God. God is all knowing, God is all seeing, but somehow he just can't handle money. That's quite humorous, but so true. And looking at this site, and in my opinion, it's too well put together to be actually considered true alternative. That's my opinion. I think he's very much media endorsed. I don't want to get into a lot of stuff that I could say beyond that. I can get into a little more specifics, but I'm not going to do that here on this little YouTube presentation. But I think he is more got the seal of approval from the insider establishment, if you want to call it that way. I kind of like calling that, using the instead of using the word the elite, the Illuminati and all those crazy words. You might call it like the insider establishment. I think that's more of a proper term, and it's always things like that have always exist forever in every culture there is. But my point mainly is that these guys with the alternatives, they don't believe their own message. They're out there to make a buck, and they're into conspiracy, yellow journalism business. But I kind of do get annoyed about this donate garbage. You know, donate here, donate this, and we need money. Just pay some money to me because I'm fighting the power. And, Jeff Rentz does that. Alex Jones does that. This Real Zionist News does that. This guy, he's actually Ben Fulford. He's asking for subscription, but I found it humorous that he supposedly turned down, him and his White Dragon ninjas turned down $1 trillion from the Illuminati. He said, no deal, Illuminati. God, I would have took a lot less money than that, I'd be like, what do you want me to say, Hey, no problem. Hey, I'll admit it, some Illuminati wanted to pay me $1 million, no problem. I'll shut up. No problem. And, there's another guy on here, Paul Drockton. He's another one with the PayPal. Donate to me, kind of like he did that advice. Boy, that was a piss poor it turned out to be. I don't think he was trying to steer anybody wrong. I think he thought he was going to make a really nice call there and say something. But, Paul Drockton had this thing where he was saying the Illuminati, the insiders, were selling off and shorting the S&P left and right. And I'm telling you, short the S&P, you can make a lot of money. And it's shorted for October 2011. The whole thing's going to crash. And, then there's this 11/11/11 date was coming up. Well, nothing crashed. I was kind of skeptical of that old garbage, but I was curious, And, donate to me with PayPal. PayPal. God. Anyway, there's a sucker born every minute, and I'm just saying that most of these people that are involved in the conspiracy business are just that. They're involved in a business. They don't believe their own message about the world crashing and falling apart. They're just selling to the people that are busybodies that are worried about what the elite are, what they're doing. It's probably a good message to state some of these things, but anytime I see something out there with this PayPal, donate to me, I automatically have a very big suspicion of them. Well, I automatically kind of figure what they're about. I mean, alright, to me, I see that donate button, I say, yeah, it's snake oil, buddy,